Hey, this is Brian here, coming to you today from my bathroom, and this is my Tegu lab, also my dog studio, Tegu studio, dog studio, because I do a lot in the bathroom. I do all the cleaning, a lot of maintenance, soaking in the tub, potty, all kinds of things with the Tegus here in my bathroom. So uh, I have been brumating my tegus, but I've been doing it a little bit different this winter. I keep them a little bit warmer. I have heat pads in their hide, and I have a ZooMed habitat heater up on the top of the lid that radiates some heat down or some warmth. And I have that set on a timer so that it comes on, comes off, comes on, comes off, so that it doesn't get too warm in there, and it just provides their bodies to stay about 73 to about 75 degrees, depending on, I've shot them with my heat gun. The tail stays a little bit warmer versus towards the head, which will be a little bit cooler. But the tegus, because I'm keeping them a little bit warmer and not letting them get down to 58, 59, 60 degrees, they wake up and from time to time, or they're not actually sleeping, they're just kind of in a comatose state when they brumate. So they're never just unconscious. They're always alert and aware of what's going on, even though their eyes are closed. So they can wake up really quickly if something were to endanger them or an animal crawl into their burrow. They can wake up and not just be food. They can, start to try to defend themselves or get out of there and get into another burrow. But I've got both my tegus up today, so I thought this would be a really good opportunity to just talk to you about some things and just make some video content because I love my tegus. So here's Mac underneath my feet right here walking around. I just put them in the tub, and when they wake up, I will they'll go quickly right back to into their little kind of knocked out phase when I put them back in there. But they wake up, maybe they need to go poo poo, maybe they need to get some water, maybe they just want to pop their head out and see what's going on, see what the environment's like. But then they will, once they kind of sense what's going on and life is real and reality's happening, then they'll just go right kind of back to their resting in the hide. But so I've got Mac right here. Make sure he doesn't knock my microphone down, but you can see how big Mac is getting. He's getting really large, and he's getting pretty hefty. He's almost 8 pounds. We put him up on my shoulder, and I just want to talk to you about. I made, it's hard to go back and watch all the videos that I've made, but I think I got 70 or 80 of them of Tegu videos. And I recently have gone back and watched some, and some are a little bit cringe-worthy. I'm like, ooh, what was I saying or what was I doing? So this is now, I'm into my, soon to be in my 3rd year of Tegu ownership. So I've learned a lot from, being a 6-month owner, with 6 months of experience to 3 years of experience. You gain a lot more knowledge. And so some of my early videos, I'm just like, But there was one where I just wanted to stress, or two of them that I went back and watched. And one was I was feeding Mac a mouse or a rat, and I was letting him, fight for the rat in my house, and then making him jump for it and stuff. And then I was like, man, sometimes you have to pin them, behind their head, and I mentioned, like a snake, how you kind of grab a snake behind the head. Well, sometimes you got to come and you got to pin them behind their head and grab, them by their tail, kind of like this. Mac, it's not going to upset Mac for me to do that. I'm going to make sure he doesn't tear up one of my clothes. You come in and you can grab them behind the neck, because you got to, when they're ornery, when they go through different phases, growing up, they will, and Mac's gonna knock my microphone off. They go through different phases of life, and they could bite you. They can be ornery. They can be really, really sweet. They go through, like a child. They go through hormonal changes and things. And so there was a point, where Mac, I had to get a hold of him and get a command of him a couple of times, and in the phases where he went through biting my shoes. He would chase me. and with his mouth open, he would do all kinds of different things that were, for a lizard running at you is kind of threatening. It's kind of like, wow, this lizard is coming after me with his mouth, and you do not want to get bit by a tegu. So that one video was just showing at that phase, or at that point when I had Mac, some of the things that you would have to possibly do to get your tegu under control. If your tegu was coming after you, or was fearful. I mean, that's usually when they get upset, is when they're fearful for their well-being. And so if you don't want to get bit, sometimes they're really struggling and flipping around. You've got to get them by the rear neck, because if you grab them back here and you don't secure this area, you're going to get bit. They can reach around and get your hand, and a tegu bite is terrible. I've only been bitten once by Mac when he was going when I had him outside, and he got terrified, and instead of the possibility of losing him and having him run off, I had to pin him and get control of him. And I grabbed him, maybe on the back portion and the rear tail, and he just turned around and got my finger and latched onto that. So that's what you want to do, is get them right behind the head, was what I was demonstrating, so that they can't reach around and get your finger. You got to get control of them. So it's not cruel, if you use certain techniques to, at different phases to handle your animal. But Mac is a sweetheart now. I would never really need to do that. He wants down. But I would never need to do that really now, unless Mac really got scared in the house or something. Something can spook them. It happens from time to time. Something will spook them. They don't feel comfortable, and they go into protection mode. And if you go up to your tegu and try to interact with them while they're scared or under duress, or they're on high alert, and you go to pick them up, I mean, you can turn around and take a nasty tegu bite. And Mac was much smaller when he bit me, maybe 2 feet long, and so the bite was pretty bad, but not as bad as it could be, with a 4 foot, 3.5 foot, 4 foot, a 5 foot tegu. But here's Sassy. She's trying to come up now. I got her up too. And I made a video where I really, in the past, maybe 2 years ago, where I talked about Sassy and how I was really unhappy with Sassy, and I made her sound pretty bad. I mean, I was like, and I watched it, and I was like, Sassy's such a sweet girl. Sassy's just a female versus a male. Mac is my male black and white tegu. This is a red, black and white hybrid red tegu. And the females, since I don't have 20 tegus, and I haven't been raising tegus for 20, 30 years, and gone through, raising, 40 different tegus, male and female, I have less experience knowing exactly what females are like compared to males. But you can get a pretty good idea if you have one male and one female, how they do things. And Sassy's just very, very different. And Sassy has calmed down, and Sassy is never a biter. I have almost no fear of Sassy biting me, because that's her personality. She's not a biter, but she has very, very sharp claws compared to Mac's that are more dull. I mean, they will cut you and scratch you, but Sassy's are like more cat-like nails, versus Mac's are more like dog-like nails. And that could be a male or a female thing. But Sassy is a wonderful tegu. And I mentioned, I gave her, a pretty bad rap. And I was like, how I talked, I was kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have said those things. She is, I could take the video down, but I don't like to take videos down. But Sassy is a great tegu, a wonderful tegu. And I love her just as much as Mac, and love her because she's such a great tegu. She's just a little bit more high-strung. She just necessarily doesn't like to be held. She would rather be on the ground a little bit more and doing her own thing. But that's okay. She's a great tegu. I love Sassy. So I just wanted to bring that in this video. They are really turned in as they grow up. Let me just give you a little bit of advice. As you buy a couple of month-old tegu and you raise them up They just go through different periods, and they act very, very different from, every 3 or 4 months or 6 months. They kind of turn into a different animal. But from my experience, as these Tegus have grown up and they're now, Mac is 3 and Sassy is almost 3. I mean, just a month away from being, or 2 months away from being 3 years old. They become really amazing animals to own. They become a lot easier to handle and take care of, and a lot more personable, and just more fun animals to own. So just hang in there, get past, I think, number at 1 year old to 2.5 years old is probably the most trying times with Tegu ownership, bringing up a Tegu, growing up or ownership of a Tegu. So get past that point, and then I think it just gets easier from there. And they're going to want to go back to bed here, or go back to their hide and go hibernate or brumate. Sassy's the one that'll do the flips and the rolls. Mac, if you really get him in a weird situation, he doesn't like it, he will do a couple rolls. But Sassy, when she's in a situation she doesn't like, she just goes gator roll, spins, and tries to get out of it. But again, thanks for watching my videos. Hopefully I came across clear and concise. And I just wanted to talk to you about Tegus, because they're amazing animals. These 2 Tegus have changed my life for the better, and I'm so blessed to own them and have them, and it's such a value to my life. So yep, it's a lizard, and a lizard can do that. But there's Sassy. She's such a sweetie. She is. Let me put her down. And again, here's Big Mac. He's a sweetie too. They're a little squirmy. I think they want to go back in their hide and just go veg out. Oh, Mac. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Appreciate it. Check in for more videos as I make them. All right, bye-bye.